God, put that gavel down. Now, I appreciate the kind words of support, and then some people may be intimidated, but I can assure you, I bow to no man. There's one man up there maybe, like George Carlin said, the invisible man in the sky, but no other. So, Ernie Mazzullo, in all respect to his son, is the last person that is going to intimidate me. That's for sure. Now, I want to disagree with you, Mary. I like you. You and I have spent time talking in your office. I offered you solutions, out-of-the-box solutions, where I could have people with suits on with millions of dollar checks in tow. I don't know if it's time to ring it out now. It's up to you. You want me to run with it?
Go ahead.
But I still want to get to this. This is important. We want to make money. You said we cannot bring down our taxes. I disagree.
Well, not as we stand today.
Well, we can make it happen in warp speed, but we have to think outside the box. We have 10 Acre Park. Everything we touch in this town is bleeding red. Sturgeon Point is bleeding red. Somehow this town has a fixation on that swimming pool on 18 Mile Creek. That's bleeding red. I'm hearing numbers of $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 to fix it. For what? A tiny fraction of people that use it in this town? The hell with it. Pound a sign in, close it till further notice. We ought to have a self-imposed austerity budget. That's what we should do. Don't wait for the county. Don't even give them an open door. Do it ourselves. I told you, we have a 10-acre park, and I'm not yelling, that's just my way, you know me. We have a 10-acre park here at Evans Park. On Labor Day, I took a ride with my wife. I wanted to see what was happening in town here. It was 78 degrees, blue sky, sunshine. 11 cars at Wendt Park, 10 cars at Bennett Beach, handful of cars at Evans Park. Evangola was empty. We finally got some money in this town. We got Carl Palladino. A lot of people don't like him, but you know what? He's a businessman. He's bringing money in town. He's going to make it nice. All our bars are gone. They're gone, okay? He's bringing in millions of dollars. I told you, you want to make some money and have people waiting outside your door? Sell that park. Sell that waterfront and put beautiful condos. And don't give them, don't squeeze them in to the little footage there and give them only 40 feet. I have a two-story home. I'm 31 feet. How could this man make any money? He can't go horizontal. He's on a footprint, but he can go vertical, and that's where the money is, and it would block nobody's view. That could be a commerce center there. And I'll tell you who's going to buy those condos, the high-priced condos. You want tax money coming in? I'll tell you who's going to buy it. It's the people that grew up here, that maybe met their wife and make you rats. Now they're all points south. They're looking at themselves and they're in their 60s and 70s and 80s, and they're saying, you know what? We got more money and time, honey. What do you think we buy one of those condos up there and enjoy it? Because we're going to need to do a 1021 exchange anyhow, because if we downsize our home, we can't, and the appreciation they get down there, not here of course, but down there, we're going to have to give 15% capital gain. So let's turn it around and let's buy a condo right here. Those are the people who are going to buy that. So you can get rid of that park because it's bleeding red. You know it is. Sturgeon Point's bleeding red. Your swimming pool is bleeding red. Take that 10-acre park, sell it for millions and millions and millions. I'll bring in the investors. You know I can. I've already brought you an investor on another parcel. Take that park, go to the county and say, listen, you're running this place like a crap hole. I've never seen a sheriff down there, to be honest with you, and I live right next to it. So you fix it up, you get it on it's 1800s industrial age. George Wendt, that's when the industrial age came along. You can get that on a historical registry and bring in grant money. If they can get $3.5 million for Frank Lloyd Wright to redo their second floor. That's $1,000 a square foot. It's crazy. Get rid of our 10-acre park, move town of Evans to a 180-acre park. Make that our new park. And you know the other things we could do there. There's a lot of wonderful things. And instead of fixing up that pool and spending $400,000 or $500,000 over there on 18 Mile Creek Road, put a pool in over there. So if it's too rough to go in the lake, or if the fecal count's too high because they dumped 1 million gallons of untreated raw sewage into our lake, then the people can swim in a clean pool. And I hear so much about this water, so much about the water, and Erie County water. You know what I would do if I was you, ma'am? This is how I would handle it. I'd walk in the door to Policart's, and I'd close the door, and I'd say, listen, we're struggling right now. We're having a tough time, but we're going to crawl out of this hole, sir. But if you keep harassing us about this water bill, and matter of fact, we don't want to pay any interest, because we're going to slap you at an $800 million lawsuit, and you can do it. And then, are you going to get anything out of it? Probably not. But I'll tell you what, it'll make the headlines and probably CNN. Mary, your name would be famous. You could slap the county, you could slap the EPA, and you could slap New York State. You tell Policarts behind closed doors, get off my back. We need breathing room, okay? So that's how you get them off your back. That's how I would handle it. You know what he would tell you? Don't worry about it, Mary. We'll take care of it. That's what would happen. But you gotta, in order to take something that's difficult, you think you can't accomplish it. I know, because I took a lodge up north that was full of drunks and bums. And I had to literally throw them out the door because of their foul language, and I couldn't bring in crowds of people to eat. So I literally had to drag them out, literally. After a couple of weeks of that, the good people started coming. 3 deep at the bar, every table's filled. An old man was sitting at the corner of the bar, called me over. He called me kid, I'm no kid. He says, you did a hell of a job. He said, but you know what? In order to do it, it takes a son of a bee. You're that son of a bee. Mary, you're going to have to be that son of a bee. And you're going to have to do things that's very not going to be popular with the people who collect their pay out of this building. But let me give you some numbers. These are very important. I spoke to Gregory Wicker, Chief of Police Hamburg, today. I spoke to Krista Snyder, Secretary of the Supervisor of Hamburg, today. 60,000 population, 61 police officers. Also, they have 10 hotels. They got the Hampton, Holiday Inn, Best Western, Quality Inn, Comfort Inn. I don't have to say them all. But conservatively, they do 1,000 rooms a week. That's only 100 rooms per. That's low for a Hampton, 100 rooms a week. That means that's 8,000 people in, it's 2,000 people a week, 8,000 people a month. Half our population comes in and stays in the hotels in Hamburg. In 1 year, that's 96,000 people that police force has to look after. They have a full Walmart supercenter there. They've got 27 lanes with turning lanes at Camp Road and Route 20. 27 lanes. Now, if we would adopt Hamburg, the town of Hamburg's form, their policy, we would have one officer for every 16,000, we'd have one officer for every 1,000 people. They have one officer every 1,000 people. We have 16 officers in here, and it worked before. It worked when we had 15 and we had 7 bars that went thousands of kids in there. Now we have none. So yes, 16 officers. These are facts, man. If Hamburg was going to adopt our policy, because we have one police officer for every rounded out 700 people, Hamburg tomorrow would have to go out and hire 20 new officers. So don't tell me it can't be done. We have 10 streetlights in this town, man. 10. If somebody prove me wrong, tell me 11. But drive through this town from one end to the other end. I did. I had to take somebody from my anniversary party from 18 Mile to Farm. At midnight, 5 cars I passed. This wasn't Camp Road. This wasn't one police officer taking care of 1,000. We have one police officer taking care of 700. We can get rid of 6 police officers here. And I'll tell you what, another thing. Talk to the sheriffs and say, you know what? You've got the Went Park, you've got the Bennett Park, and with the Homeland Security now, very important, you've got the Erie County Water Authority. And you can talk to them and say, very vulnerable, they got a scouting crew over there. If they get in there with anthrax or anything, and it could happen, they can ruin the water system in this city and area community for years. Put the Spirit of the Lord in them, and maybe they'll keep a sheriff in this town full time to look after their parks and the water authority. You got an office right there open for them. I mean, there's a lot of things that be done, but you got to think outside the box. You've got to get this 18 Mile Creek out of your head. Close that place. You got to make money. Sturgeon Point. I brought in all the renditions. 500 boat slips. Now, I want to ask Jeannie Mako. You're on the Sturgeon Point committee.
I am.
Can you please tell me what you have done in the past year to bring the Erie County sewers down? Because you know without sewers, no one's going to spend a dime in building a hotel. Can you tell me what you did?
Well, I know that the supervisor has made.
Did you fill out the form, Mary?
Excuse me?
Did you fill out the formal request?
Not yet, no.
So I ask you again.
It's not as easy as filling out a form.
Yes, it is. I talked to John Mills, and John Mills said,
John Mills make it sound easy, but it's not as easy as he puts it out to be.
well,
And I
what he
have
did
talked
tell
to the
me,
sewer authority.
I'm not arguing, I don't want to argue with you.
It's been, we've given you more than.
I know, but John Mills told me it's up to you to fill out the forms. And once he has the forms, he's on the sewer department. He can bring it in, we can get a hotel, we can get a restaurant. And while you're at it about sewers, getting the sewers, how about getting the sewers over at our exit? Most places have to fight like the devil, little towns, to get a throughway on-ramp. And they have hotels and restaurants right there. So, I mean, that's what we need. We need sewers at our off-ramp, and we need sewers at Sturgeon Point.
Yep.
And then this place will start
I
rolling.
know, but we gotta get going. And the sewers is not, we are looking at infrastructure, and that's all gonna be addressed through the county.
Can I bring the forms in to you?
You can bring the forms into us, but.
Thank you.